Good morning, students. We start with the first chapter of Supplementary Reader, chapter number 5, and the name of the chapter is The Happy Prince. Now, it's a story not about a prince in reality, but his statue. And the communication of this prince with a swallow over here is a bird. What is the need of a statue to communicate with a bird is what is being discussed. You can say there is irony in the story. There is a sad situation, but it is being tended to. It is being addressed to. The solutions are being sorted out. Let's see what is the actual story about. The Happy Prince was a beautiful statue. He was covered with gold. He had sapphires for eyes and a ruby in his sword. Why did he want to part with all the gold that he had and his precious stones? So he didn't want that gold and precious stones stuck to his statue. Why is the reason we'll come to know as I proceed with the story. High above the city, on a tall column, stood the statue of the Happy Prince. He was gilded all over with thin leaves of fine gold. For eyes he had 2 bright sapphires, and a large red ruby glowed in his sword hilt. Now, gilded over here means covered thinly with either gold leaves or with gold paint. That was the appearance, that's the description of the appearance of the statue. All over the body, it was covered with thin leaves of gold, and in the place of eyes he had 2 sapphires, and a large ruby was attached to the sword hilt. Sword hilt over here, the word hilt over here is actually the handle of a weapon, the handle of the sword over here. Now, though he had all the riches on his statue, that is why people thought he was called the Happy Prince, but he wasn't happy at all. One night they flew over the city a little swallow. His friends had gone away to Egypt 6 weeks before, but he had stayed behind. Then he decided to go to Egypt too. So the fellow swallows had already gone to Egypt 6 weeks before, but this bird did not want to go away then, but he wanted to go to Egypt now. All day long he flew because he wanted to go to Egypt, and at night he arrived at the city. Which city did he arrive? He arrived at the city where this particular Happy Prince statue was there. Where shall I put up? So he is now asking himself, where shall I go and spend my night? He said, I hope the town has made preparations. So, considering it to be very of a lot of significance, it is asking, I hope the town has made good preparations for me to stay. Then he saw the statue on the tall column. Column is a raised part on which the statues are resting. I will put up there, he cried. It is a fine position with plenty of fresh air. So he alighted just between the feet of the Happy Prince. Here the word alighted means descend from the air and settle down somewhere. So he chose a very good place from where he could see the entire city as well as he could feel the fresh air because it was at a great height. So where did he land? He landed where the feet of the prince was. I have a golden bedroom, he said softly to himself as he looked around, and he prepared to go to sleep. So because the statue was made of gold, so he declared, I have a golden bedroom. But just as he was putting his head under his wing, a large drop of water fell on him. This is how birds sleep. So the bird also wanted to sleep, and as soon as it spread its wing to sleep, a drop of water fell on him. What a curious thing. So what a strange thing, he cried. There is not a single cloud in the sky. The stars are quite clear and bright, and yet it is raining. So the weather conditions were not such that it would rain. And he is amazed at the fact that when everything is clear, how come this water dripping down on me? Then another drop fell. What is the use of a statue if I cannot keep off the rain? He thought he had got good shelter no matter what would be the weather condition over there, he had good shelter. But this also was not proving fruitful for him. He said, I must look for a good chimney pot. And he determined to flew away. So he thought a chimney pot was a better place rather than this golden abode. But before he had opened his wings, a third drop fell on him, and he looked up and saw. What did he see? Something he saw was not what he had expected. The eyes of the happy prince were filled with tears, and tears were running down his golden cheeks. His face was so beautiful in the moonlight that the little swallow was filled with pity. When you see a beautiful face and then you see the contrast of it having tears in the eyes, you feel sad. So that's what the swallow felt for the happy prince. Who are you? He said. I am the happy prince. Why are you weeping then? The name itself suggests that he's happy. So he's inquisitive to know why you crying then. Asked the swallow. You have quite drenched me. So he said, because of your tears, I have got completely wet. When I was alive and had a human heart, this is the answer of the prince, answered the statue, I did not know what tears were. For I lived in the palace, where sorrow is not allowed to enter. So that's how he was the happy prince over there. He had never seen sorrow in his life. My courtiers called me the happy prince, and happy indeed I was. So I lived and so I died. So like he lived happily also, and he died. When he died also, he was very happy. And now that I am dead, they have set me up here so high that I can see the ugliness and all the misery of my city. So from the height they have mounted the statue, where the statue was mounted. From there he could see the entire city, and whatever was the problem of the people, what they were facing in the city, he could see from there. And though my heart is made of lead, yet I cannot choose but weep. So he doesn't have a heart now which is actually beating, but he says, though I have a heart of a metal right now, but I cannot help except for weeping tears. What? Is he not solid gold? Now, this is the doubt which came to the bird's mind, because it thought that it was purely made of gold, fully made of gold. He said, not your heart is not fully made, like your body is not fully made of gold. He said the swallow to himself. He was too polite to make any personal remarks. So this swallow knew that he was like a little bit, he wouldn't speak much, even if whatever came to his mind, he would weigh his words and not see to it that he would make it a point that the other person would not feel bad. Far away, continued the statue in a low musical voice. Far away in the little street there is a poor house. One of the windows is open, and through it I can see a woman seated at a table. Her face is thin and worn. Worn over here means tired. And she has coarse red hands, all pricked by the needle. Coarse means over here rough because she's been working a lot. And all her hands have been pricked by the needle, because for she is a seamstress. Now, who is a seamstress? A person who earns by sewing. So you can make embroidery, you can embroider flowers on a cloth, so you can stitch clothes. Whatever you do is with a needle and a thread. So this one was a seamstress, that's why her hands were so coarse. She is embroidering flowers on a satin gown for the loveliest of the queen's maids of honor. So maids of honor are the ladies of the court who are next to the queen. They're the junior attendants of a queen. So she's actually embroidering flowers on a satin material, which is to be made into a gown for one of the queen's loveliest maids of honor, to wear at the next court ball. So whenever you have a ball, it's a party, you dance, you need to dress well. So that was the occasion on which this particular dress was needed. In a bed in the corner of the room, her little boy is lying ill. He has a fever and he is asking his mother to give him oranges. His mother has nothing to give him but river water, so he is crying. So the demand of the sick child was oranges, where Mama did not have anything to give him. She gave him water instead. That is why the boy is crying. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, will you not bring her the ruby out of my sword hilt? So he says, now he is urging the bird to take away the ruby from his sword's hilt and give it to the lady. My feet are fastened to this pedestal and I cannot move. Fastened over here means tied. I am clutched to this pedestal. Pedestal is something on which the statue stands. It's a support on which the statue has been mounted. The statue says that I cannot move because I've been mounted over here permanently and I cannot move, now that I would have gone and given it away to her. I am waited for in Egypt, said the swallow. My friends are flying up and down the Nile and talking to the large lotus flowers, so they will go to sleep. Soon they will go to sleep. So this bird is more worried over here because his companions have already left for Egypt and they are flying up and down the river Nile, and they have the large lotus flowers over there, and soon they will be asleep and I might lose my way. So I am more interested in going there rather than helping you. The prince asked the swallow to stay with him for one night and be his messenger. The boy is so thirsty and the mother is sad. He said, I don't think I like boys, answered the swallow. I want to go to Egypt. So he says, in comparison, if you give me a choice between the boys and my fellow companions, the other swallows, I would definitely choose the same breed. Why would I help a human? So I don't like boys that much when compared to my choice where I have to go to Egypt. But the happy prince looked so sad that the little swallow was sorry. It is very cold here, he said. But he agreed to stay with him for one night and be his messenger. So he agrees now, reluctantly, but he agrees to help him out. Thank you, little swallow, said the prince. The swallow picked out the great ruby from the prince's sword and flew away with it in his beak over the roofs of the town. So he agrees and he takes away the ruby from there, and he's become a messenger now. He's flying to the lady. He passed the cathedral tower where the white marble angels were sculptured. Now, cathedral is a principal church of an area which is connected to the Pope. So it has got angels. Most of the ancient monuments have got angels over there, marble angels depicted, sculptured. So he passes by from there. He passes by the palace and heard the sound of dancing. A beautiful girl came out on the balcony with her lover. He notices this side also. I hope my dress will be ready in time for the state ball, she said. I have ordered flowers to be embroidered on it, but the seamstresses are so lazy. This was the comment what he heard from the girl. She must be one of the maids of the honor, the loveliest of all. He passed over the river and saw the lanterns hanging on the masts of the ships. Masts are the huge pieces of cloth which actually give directions to a ship. Like when they release it, then it helps you to move in a particular direction of the wind. So he saw the lanterns hanging from there. At last he came to the poor woman's house and looked in. The boy was tossing feverishly on his bed and the mother had fallen asleep. She was so tired. So the mama didn't have even that much of strength in her to look after the child. She fell asleep because she was very tired. In he hopped and laid the great ruby on the table beside the woman's thimble. Now, thimble is actually a small covering worn on the finger. It can be out of a metal, it can be out of plastic also, so that the needles don't pierce much. So he keeps it on the table where the thimble is placed. Then he flew gently round the bed, fanning the boy's forehead with his wings. Now, somebody who got fever, if they feel even little bit of cold around, touch of cold around, so they feel better rather than feeling very hot because of the fever. How cool I feel, said the boy. I must be getting better. And he sank into a delicious slumber. A delicious slumber over here means a sweet sleep. Now that it was the fanning of the wings which made him feel better. And he thought that his fever was going away, so he slept a very sweet sleep, a very good sleep. Then the swallow flew back to the happy prince and told him what he had done. It is curious, he remarked, but I feel quite warm now, although it is so cold. Because this thing had flew so long, so far away, and then came back. So in spite of it being very cold over there, it was feeling warm. It was curious, it was strange. Might be the act also made him feel good about himself, what he had just done and come, or it might be the moving of flying from one place to another, warming up his body. That is because you've done a good action, said the prince. Then the little swallow began to think and then fell asleep. Thinking always made him sleepy. So he was a bird, he was a casual bird, happy-go-lucky kind of a bird, didn't do that much of thinking process, did not involve it. So he was like saying, I'm sleeping now, too much for me to handle. When day broke, he flew down to the river and had a bath. Tonight I go to Egypt, said the swallow, and he was in high spirits at the prospect. So the very idea of he going away to Egypt, his future, he could see, and he was very happy that he knew that he would be doing that. He visited all the monuments and sat a long time on the top of the church steeple, part of a church on the top. So he sat over there watching things around him. When the moon rose, he flew back to the happy prince. So when it was evening, when the night set in, he flew back to the happy prince. Have you any commissions for Egypt? He cried. I am just starting. Commissions over here. Do you have any work in Egypt? You can tell me, I'll do it. That's what he says. Because I'm leaving now for Egypt. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince. Will you stay with me one night longer? So here again the prince asks him, can you stay with me for one more night? So let's see in the next part of the explanation what happens, what is the other commission, what is the other work he commissions him with. Okay, so next lecture I'll be taking up the next part.